Hey friends, so now that we're back from winter break, I am starting to get back to cooking more in the house. We had family come over from Miami and we just had a blast these last 2 weeks. But now it's time to get down and get serious on actually making home cooked meals and prepping. We're gonna go ahead and do that. Today, I will probably just start off by making some stuff that we can have today and tomorrow, as well as prepping my chicken because I still have to cook. I might use one of the batches of chicken because I did buy a 3-pack from Costco. And I will probably try to make, hold on. All right, I'm back. So the one I might be making today will be one moment. Okay. I don't have it here, but I have a similar version. I want to make like a chicken Tuscan bake, which is pretty much just chicken. I might need heavy cream. Okay, well, chicken, broccoli, sun-dried tomatoes, and then a little bit of chicken broth and stuff like that. Bake it in the oven for a little bit. Let the broccoli steam, and then pretty much serve it as so. I might be doing that today for dinner. It is pretty easy. Otherwise, one of the packages of chicken that I'm going to marinate and then freeze will be some garlic parmesan skewers. And it kind of looks like that. This is from I don't have a actual book. This is just my own recipe book. Like that. Really delicious. And yeah, we are gonna marinate these three containers of chicken differently. Each one is gonna have a different flavor. We tend to do a lot of cubed things. I've noticed that if I do not cube my food, my son and my husband can go through it a lot faster than when I cube it. So ever since then, I've noticed that I started cubing my chicken. So one is gonna be the garlic parmesan skewers. Obviously I'm not gonna skew them now. And what I'll probably be doing is I'll probably cut each one individually in here and kind of go like that. I want to use as little dishes as possible to make my life easier because I don't have a functioning dishwasher. So we're gonna start. This does make a lot of chicken, so if for any reason I think I might have to split one baggie into 2 servings or 2 separate dinners, then I'll go ahead and do that. The more the merrier. I do have to take into consideration that I do start work soon. I start on the 20th. And so I want to make sure that I have stuff that will make my everyday a lot easier because I'm not sure what to expect with me working. I don't know if I'll be more tired or I'll still be the same. It's a part-time job, so I'm not thinking that it's going to take me too much, but you know, a job is a job, and I'm sure I'll be tired one way or another. And I usually try to cook while while my son is in school. And so because I would be cooking after my son gets out of school, I want to make sure that I'm not overwhelming myself. I like getting creative with my meals, and so I just want to make sure that if I do want to get creative, there's space for it. And if that means getting creative now instead of later when I'm exhausted or I'm tired or it was a long day, then I get to have a very delicious meal after a stressful day. And that is the bonus of this. So I like to take off as much as I can from the fatty parts. If I see that, like, I don't know if you could see that, but it's a little ugly. Looks bruised. Yes, I will be removing that. So I definitely want to invest in some good knives. I like mine. I mean, there's nothing wrong. I could live with mine. But once again, if it makes the cutting part easier and it gets dual less compared to these, then obviously I would like some new ones. Yeah, I think this is actually gonna make a lot more chicken than I expected, which is totally fine. It'll be good. Maybe I can make a double batch. So we're just gonna cube them, or at least cut them into similar sizes. Doesn't have to be perfect, but yeah. And usually the way I do the garlic parm, I tend to just either, it really depends. If I'm making like roasted potatoes or air fried potatoes in my air fryer, then what I tend to do is I'll actually cook this in a pan. If I'm not using my air fryer, then I'll just go ahead and throw it in the air fryer, and these crisp up very good while still keeping it moist. I had rented out a book on Libby. It's called, oh my goodness, it might be called A Golden Summer. It's pretty good. Definitely trying to lean more into romance, nonfiction romance. I haven't dabbled too much in it, but I started to late last year. I've been enjoying it. Definitely something different. I was on a wait list, and finally, when it was available to me, my family came for winter break, and of course 2 weeks passed by and I did not touch the book, and it got returned. So hoping I could get it again soon, but I don't know if there's still a wait list on that one. Wasn't too bad, but it was nice. Story wise, it was cute, definitely interesting. Compared to the other ones that I've read, this was one of the better ones that I've actually enjoyed. So my meal prepping is very chaotic. Sometimes I don't go based off a recipe. I just kind of go based off what I think would be good. Something else I tried, so Costco had a dupe to those super cute silicone containers where you can freeze your food, and I actually used it the other day, and wow, I actually enjoyed it. It worked very well. I'm excited to reheat one of those to see how it works. So yes, I will not link these knives in the description below. I mean, if you really want to know which ones I have, by all means. I think I got them at Sam's Club. But I wouldn't say I'd recommend them unless you just need something affordable. Then definitely go with this one. I've just been needing new knives. I bought that a few years ago. Never replaced them because, I mean, it does the job. I'm not in a rush to get new stuff. My motto, or what I try to live by, is if it still works, fine, then there's no need to replace them yet. They work fine. Okay, so we're gonna do, I believe this is like maybe 2 pounds, a little bit more, 2 pounds of chicken breast. All right, so we're gonna add avocado oil to it. Once again, I do try to eye a lot of my seasonings. I smell as I go. If I feel that it doesn't smell very seasoned, then I'm going to add more seasoning. But I will say out loud usually what my recipe calls for. So right now I just did 2 tablespoons of avocado oil. I'm doing 2 tablespoons because this might be 2 pounds, maybe a bit more than 2 pounds. And I want to make sure that it's enough. And now we're going to go with 2 tablespoons of lemon pepper. This is just from Target, salt-free. I'm assuming that's good. And then we're going to do 2 tablespoons as well of taco seasoning. So I have my taco seasoning here. I make my own taco seasoning. You don't have to make your own. I mean, unless you really want to. I just like the taste of the one I have. I did put the recipe on the description below in my last video, but I could put it here too. So let's say that's 1 tablespoon, and let's say that is 2 tablespoons. And then we're going to add Parmesan, but let me just coat this first. I usually wear gloves. I ran out of gloves and I have yet to purchase more. I need to get them. I've never tried, I don't know if Costco sells gloves. I think it would be good to invest in a big pack because I always buy from Amazon. I tend to run out of that one pretty quick. All right, let me smell. Oh yeah, that smells delicious. All right, so we're good here. We're gonna add Parmesan. So let me just wash my hands. I need to buy more Bounty. Actually, not buy, just replace it. I don't know if it's me, but I also noticed that the Bounty or the paper towels from Costco changed. Now, they're very similar to the Sam's Club brand, and I wasn't too fond of that one, so I might have to start getting Bounty instead. I try very hard not to overuse my Bounty, my paper towels. Nosotros decimos Bounty. I always say Bounty, so if I say Bounty, it might not be the Bounty brand, but it's just, I grew up like that. I don't know if anybody else has grown up like that. In my Hispanic household, I mean, even diapers, I never said diapers. We would always say pamper. Pamper for us is diapers. I would be using Huggies, but for my son, but then whenever I needed somebody to grab me a diaper, I would say, ¿me puedes pasar un pamper? Didn't matter what brand, pamper es un pamper. All right, so let's get the Parmesan grated. I don't have much Parmesan because my son really likes it. I've been trying to be very frugal with the Parmesan because I do get it in bulk at Costco, but my son likes it too much that I have to make sure that I'm not buying almost every month. This one thankfully has lasted us a little bit more than I'm used to, so happy. That's what happens when you're frugal. So now we're gonna shred. We're gonna do, I usually do 2 tablespoons. I'm gonna do 4 tablespoons just because I wanna say this is probably enough chicken where I'm just gonna double my entire recipe. So if you're doing 2 pounds of chicken, do 4 tablespoons of Parmesan. If you're doing 1 pound, do 2 tablespoons of Parmesan. You're gonna grate it. If you want to do more, I'm sure it'll still taste delicious. Probably even more so. I love the Parmesan. This is the part that gives it, believe it or not, a lot of flavor in the dish. Okay, I think that's good. We're gonna already put that in a Ziploc bag so I can already have this stored in my freezer. Clean hands, and you're gonna massage it in. This elevates the flavors. The saltiness of the Parmesan, the flavors of the taco seasoning, and the lemon pepper. All of it gives it an amazing taste.
I didn't tell you how I found out that you were asleep.
Oh.
Over again. I was like, is she asleep? So I went to go and
We're gonna do another batch of the chicken. I ended up putting both in one container instead of 2 separate Ziploc bags. What I thought was gonna be a double batch day, it's just gonna be a regular batch. So this is the second batch of chicken. I only got the organic chicken breast at Costco mainly because the ones that were non-organic did look a bit discolored, and so I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't getting bad chicken. Otherwise, I probably would have gotten the regular one. Whoever's watching this, I hope you guys had a great winter break. It was very special to me spending time with family. I try to cherish it as much as possible, and I do give it a huge priority. My dad passed away whenever I was 3 in December, and so sometimes it's a little tough. Even though I'm already older, I've learned to understand that grief will always just be there, and I'll always miss my dad, even though I never really got to know him, the person that he is or was. But something that I did get from that was that I've learned to cherish everything. So I've learned to cherish all the beautiful moments I have with my family, as well as cherishing the idea of taking as many pictures and honestly recording whatever I can. Something that I didn't get to experience growing up was actually listening to the sound of my dad's voice. We lost most, if not all, recording, and I only have pictures of my dad, but I never got to know his voice, and that has always been something that I wish I could find one way or another to listen to. I only go based off what family members tell me, and I know that that is different than actually knowing how the man was. But I still find ways to celebrate him. He is the reason why I try to record everything. I'm used to taking videos of others and stuff, and I'm trying to creating this YouTube channel allows me to prioritize putting myself in front of the camera and not just behind it. And as many moms know, that is a very common thing that ends up happening. We tend to stay behind the camera, not in front of it with our child. So my husband does try to take pictures, but those candid or off-guard pictures be coming out rough sometimes. So here I am. Also, it's kind of fun. I actually do enjoy editing my videos. I think it's really entertaining. And it has given me something to do while I'm just at home. So this next batch that I'm making, it's gonna be a honey lime chicken. It's also another favorite of ours. I haven't made it. Usually I tend to pair this one with cilantro lime rice. And it gives it a really good flavor. This one has a basic seasoning. It's not much. I tend to use paprika, but lately I've been putting smoked paprika on everything. I've been loving that for the past few months now. So since I'm doubling my recipe for my, recipe book, I'm going to actually do, instead of 2 teaspoons of paprika for 2 pounds of chicken, I'm going to do 1 teaspoon of paprika, 1 teaspoon of smoked paprika, just in case it doesn't. I just want to make sure that the smoked paprika doesn't get overpowered if I put 2 teaspoons of paprika instead of smoked paprika instead. So we're gonna put this aside. Pretty sure there's 2 pounds of chicken. I'm going to do 1 teaspoon of paprika and 1 teaspoon of smoked paprika. I don't want to do it all with smoked paprika just because I'm not sure if that's gonna be too overpowering. So we're gonna add the salt and pepper first. It's 1 teaspoon. I'm assuming this is 1 teaspoon. Once again, I really do Once again, I just try to measure by eye. I think that's good. Just one more. All right. And then half a teaspoon. Oh, I'm sorry. 2 teaspoons. Because it's 2 pounds. My bad. We're going to do 1 teaspoon of black pepper. This one I have to be careful with. I don't realize how much black pepper I tend to put. You know, obviously a little goes a long way with black pepper. All right. Then we're going to do 1 teaspoon of paprika. Regular paprika. I think that's good. And then 1 teaspoon of smoked paprika. And then we're gonna do chili powder. Hopefully I could open this without getting, there we go. We're gonna do 2 teaspoons of chili powder. So 1, I'll say that's 1 and 2. All right, and then we're gonna mix until it's all fully coated. If I think it's not fully coated or I don't smell like it's pretty seasoned, I'm going to add more. If you can't smell the seasoning as you're massaging it into the chicken, you might have not put enough. I think I put just the right amount. So some of these, like the last one, I still needed to put garlic and butter and stuff, but that's something I'll do when I cook it. So on the Ziploc bag, I put the ingredients I'll still need, which is cilantro, garlic, and a few other ingredients like parmesan. On this one, it's a honey lime. I'm not going to put the honey now because I put the honey after it's cooked. I add lime and honey towards the end. And then if I'm serving it to my husband, I'll try to put some chili flakes in it just because he likes spice. That'll just give it a little bit. So, all right. So this one's ready. That's it. We're done. It's easy. All right. Let me just go wash my hands and then we can put it in a Ziploc bag. All right, and as you can see, it is flipped, so you might not be able to read it too well, but it literally says honey lime chicken. And then on the bottom, I put needed ingredients, 2 limes, 4 tablespoons of honey, because remember, this is a double batch. And then I put once chicken is cooked, lower heat and add lime and honey. Makes it easy, don't have to think, and we're good to go. The last batch that I did was exactly 2 pounds. Or I think it was like 1.15.9 pounds. So 1 pound, 15.9 ounces. So let's see how much this one is. Even if it's a little less than 2 pounds, it's totally fine because this is a lot of meat for one dinner. Once again, keep in mind that what usually ends up happening is that the leftovers end up going towards my son's school lunch for the next day and my husband's lunch for the next day. Now that I'm starting work as well, this will also go towards my lunch. So let's just see how much this is. 1 pound and 12 ounces. So not too much of a difference. I think that's pretty great. Now we're gonna heavily wash our hands. I don't play around with chicken. I wash my hands like crazy. So yeah, we have honey lime chicken, and then now we have 1 more chicken to go. So I have a Tuscan chicken pasta that I could make with that, but I want to see the Tuscan chicken pasta I have calls for chicken breast, Italian seasoning I have, salt I have, pepper I have, butter I have, minced garlic I have, chicken broth I do not have. So season I haven't done this recipe in a really long time, so I have to really read it. No, we're not going to do this one. Let me see if there's a different Tuscan chicken that I could do. I mean, I don't mind if it's a Tuscan chicken pasta. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. This is just going to be pre-seasoned chicken that I can use with the pasta. Because essentially the pasta, you just boil it with water. I might do a mix. I might boil it with some chicken broth because if you boil your pasta with chicken broth, it gives it an amazing flavor. All right, that's what we're gonna do. If you've ever found a huge difference in your chicken, like taste wise, whenever you buy organic, let me know. I can't really tell the difference. Oh, wait, gotta wash this. So I'm really adamant on not wanting to dirty that many dishes, especially during like meal preps, because honestly, I don't want to deal with that, and I have to cook anyways. And like I've said before, I don't have a functioning dishwasher. Maybe that's something I could invest in. I just never trusted a dishwasher. This is how I was raised. All right, so this one's gonna be fun. I've been wanting to do a pasta. I'm tired of actually eating out, so I'm excited. And I have not forgotten to make the pizza dough. I did end up making it, which is why you probably saw if you haven't. I made a reel over the holiday break using my pizza dough recipe. It's not even my recipe. I used the ingredients and the measurements from another YouTuber. I'll put it on the description below. But then I kind of adjusted some stuff, so I got the idea from there. And I used it to make a cast iron pizza dough, a cast iron deep dish. No, it's not deep dish. A cast iron pan pizza. And wow, I absolutely loved it. It was amazing. And I'll be doing that as well. And something else I did, I did was that I actually froze some cheese, the cheese that I had grated already for the pizza because I didn't use all the dough. That cheese was freshly grated mozzarella cheese with, believe it or not, sugar and oregano and a little bit of Italian seasoning. I was trying to imitate the flavor from the, I don't know if you've ever tasted it, but it's Little Caesars cheese sticks. My son is obsessed with those cheese sticks from Little Caesar. And so I decided to try to see if I could make it. I know that whenever I've tried it, it tastes very sweet. And so I decided to put the sugar, I just used white sugar. The sugar, I could tell that I was pretty much almost there when it came to how the fast food joint makes it. And so I'm happy I ended up freezing that. I kind of just wrote Ziploc bag. I put pizza cheese because I don't want to confuse it with regular mozzarella. That was honestly something that I was nervous. I was nervous because I was putting it on my entire container of freshly grated mozzarella. And as you know, fresh mozzarella is not too affordable for some people. And I did not want to buy more of it. So, alrighty. So, we're gonna cut it. And of course, after the holidays, I know not everyone can afford making a huge trip at Costco, and I totally understand that part. So, these are just ideas that you could have if you just, I've done this before, if you purchase a um, clearanced out meat that may expire in a few days, you can definitely just season them the way I'm doing it and freeze them. There's nothing wrong with it. I mean, always just make sure that if you do buy clearanced out meat, that it's not going bad. Check the smell of it. Make sure that you're not getting it already expired. Usually, some stores like my local one, Jules and Target, tends to clearance out meat that may need to be frozen or tossed within 2 days. So you can definitely use that and freeze it pre-seasoned so you don't just throw it in there without knowing what you're going to do. Or just take this as a good, meal idea to make it same day. Maybe on the next time I do a similar haul at Costco. I don't tend to shop like that the way I did. But if I do, I can always try to record it. I'm not fond of recording outside just because I kind of just, in Costco, I'm in and out. I do not want to be standing there for any longer than I need to because it gets packed. Matter of fact, I only tend to go either very early during the executive hours, which is only 1 hour, or I try to go right before they're about to close. Since I was getting meat, I did want to make sure that I got there early, so I got their freshest, most recent packed meat. So that's what I did. So this one calls for it to be cubed as well. The recipe says 1.5 pounds. This might be 2 as well. So, yeah, this might be 2 pounds. So I'll just add a little bit more. So if it says 1 tablespoon, I'll do like a heaping tablespoon. I love Tuscan chicken. I've been craving it actually because my favorite part of the Tuscan chicken is the sun-dried tomatoes. If it calls for a little bit, I add a lot. I don't know, it just has an amazing flavor. And whenever I'm at the end of it, if I see that I have oil reserved there, I'll add it instead of adding my avocado oil. Now with the new year, I'm so excited because a lot of my shows that I watch are coming back from their off season. And so one of the ones I'm looking most forward to is High Potential in Hulu. Oh my goodness, that one's amazing. I don't know if anybody here watches Psych. It's an old show. Not, bueno, now it's old, but it's psychic detective, but it's funny. It's hilarious. And it kind of has the same feel, the same lightness to it. And so I didn't want to give it a shot because my favorite part of Psych is the duo, the teamwork that they have, and it's just hilarious. But you kind of still get that in this show, and it's hilarious. And it's actually based off a French show or a book. I did try watching the French version of it just to see if it's almost the same, and wow, they did a great job trying to duplicate it in an English version of the show. It's actually very interesting. I did have Costco before COVID and I used it a lot, but I wasn't sure how it was with inflation and everything since. I used to have Sam's Club last year and I just wanted to give Costco a shot. I did something that was holding me back from transferring was that Sam's Club does have the scan and go and curbside pickup. And Lord knows that I'm waiting on Costco to have that too for me to seal the deal with staying at Costco. Otherwise, I will say Costco's meat selection and their salmon, I can only get salmon at Costco. I'm very picky with the type of salmon I get, and Costco has the wild one, the wild Alaskan one, and I only get wild salmon. I don't get anything else. So let me know which one you like, if you like Costco more or Sam's Club, or if you think it's a better deal to go with one or the other. So we're doing, it says 2 tablespoons of Oh, look, it says or use the sun-dried tomatoes. Okay, so we're gonna do that because I don't wanna, I'll do a little bit of this one just in case I don't have too much. And then we're going to do, yeah, I'm just gonna do too much. All right. We're gonna add some of the oil of this. I have a lot of sun-dried tomatoes. I love it so much. I got it at Costco. So we're gonna, if I could open it. So it doesn't say that I should put it now, but I will put it now because if I'm gonna freeze this, it'll just make sense. We're gonna need that. We're gonna need garlic cloves. Once again, I do not have fresh garlic. If I could open this, there we go. Oh, goodness gracious. All right, that Italian seasoning, salt and pepper, and then the rest, we just make it whenever we make the dish. Salt and pepper. I may not have enough Italian seasoning. I do not have enough. So, and I barely even have. Okay, clearly I need to go on a seasoning trip. So we're gonna make as we go. I'm gonna have some of this. Do I not have? Oh my goodness! Wait, I should have. I don't have basil. Okay, this is gonna be a struggle to make, but we are gonna continue because we're already in the process of doing it. So yes, we're gonna have to figure some stuff out. I'm going to add, dang, that's crazy. Well, it says 2 teaspoons, so, oh, oops. We're gonna add whatever's in this. This is probably 1 teaspoon, but we're gonna add it. And then, oh my gosh, I keep dropping everything. Oh, I'm putting the rest of this because I also don't have oregano. See that we just go based off what we have. Might not give it the best taste, but I mean, it'll give it a good taste. But doesn't call for it, but I'm adding parsley just to add more of that herby flavor. Dang, I really don't have anything. I should have checked before doing this. Okay. All right, so we're gonna have to go with what we got. This is what we got, so hopefully adding the oil from this is gonna give it a better taste. We're gonna do, it says 3 to 4 garlic cloves, and 1 teaspoon of this is about 1 garlic clove. So one teaspoon of that is about 1 garlic clove. So we're gonna do 1, 2, and 3. That's good. Okay, so we're adding half a tablespoon of this just to give it more flavor. This is basil pesto, and because I don't have more Italian seasoning, I'm just adding this. So hopefully it gives it a good taste. It should. We're gonna also mix in the oil of this. Alrighty, I think that's more than enough. We have 4 ounces of sun-dried tomatoes. I'm going to put the rest of it whenever I'm done, whenever it's in the process of it's almost done cooking. What you could do instead of doing what I'm doing, because I'm pretty much risking my tomatoes burning, is actually portioning it and putting it in a Ziploc bag, frozen, a freezer-friendly Ziploc bag or container, having it already chopped and freezing it in a separate baggie, but putting it in the same gallon container as the chicken. So then whenever you're done and you're ready to put the sun-dried, you already have it frozen and already chopped and weighed. So you don't really have to do what I'm doing. All right, so we're gonna mix till it's all together. Something I'll be adding is the salt and the pepper. This calls for, okay, salt and pepper to taste. We're gonna assume this is enough. Okay, and then plus the pasta, I'll be cooking it in chicken broth, so. Alrighty. Let me smell this. It smells good, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna put a little bit of smoked paprika just because I like it on everything. You don't have to add the smoked paprika. Once again, the recipe, I'll add it on the description. I'll tag the website I got it from. Otherwise, it's made from healthyfitnessmeals.com, and it's their creamy Tuscan chicken pasta. So definitely go follow them. Oh my goodness, it looks so good. Okay, I'm so excited. Look, that's how it looks. Hopefully that's not a blurry video, but I'm gonna put that in a Ziploc bag just in case I don't make this, because I might make the carne asada instead for today. Tuscan chicken. And then in parentheses, I'm just gonna put pasta just in case I end up not even using it for pasta, and do what I do whenever I kind of want a carb-free dinner. Let's do kneaded 4 ounces chopped sun-dried tomatoes. I'll put an asterisk as a tip. Cook pasta in chicken broth. Alright, there you go. It says, once again, it's flipped, but it says Tuscan chicken pasta. Kneaded 4 ounces chopped sun-dried tomatoes, 5 cups of milk. I use almond milk. That's what we have in the house, but I'm giving the option of 2% or coconut cream, like she mentions. 2.5 tablespoons of cornstarch, just because I have more chicken. 3 cups of spinach and half a cup of parmesan with 10 ounces of cooked pasta. And then my tip says cook pasta in chicken broth. Honestly, I would even add grated parmesan on that right now. So then that way, whenever I do add that half a cup, it'll already have some of it in there. All right, so let's do this. I'm sure there's a more prettier way to put this in a container, but this is how I'm doing it. Alrighty, let me just add lo que queda. And then we're good. We're good to go. Let's weigh it. This is, would you look at that, 2.2 pounds. All right, so we are officially done. I like making it flat, or at least as flat as possible. So then that way, whenever I need to thaw it out, it's not bad. There we go. So we got Tuscan chicken. We got honey lime chicken. And we got garlic parm chicken. There we go. And like always, I forgot to do my outro videos. So this is me a couple days later, just to say that that was it for today's video. If you enjoyed this video, I hope you like or follow along and subscribe to my channel. I will probably be doing still a lot more cooking. I would love to get more into my other hobbies as well. I have been getting a lot into my books again. You will still see a lot of kitchen content, but I do want to push as well other content. I do a lot of cozy hobbies. I do some embroidery. I'm not an expert, but I do some embroidery. And I've also picked up a couple of romance books. I am not big into romance, but I am trying to throw myself out there to see if it is something that I do like. But for the time being, I am reading Green Lights by Matthew McConaughey. Actually rented this out at the library, and I actually might buy it because it is a wonderful, wonderful book. I love it. I highly recommend it. And it's been really interesting. As for romance, I am still trying to wait on the rental for One Last Summer. I will put it on the description below because I do not remember. I was, I believe, 5 hours in, so I'm almost done, but I still need some time. I have it on audiobook because I tend to listen to that one whenever I'm just driving. So yeah, if you like this video or you want to look into my kitchen, my meal preps, or any of my cozy hobbies that I hope to post soon, then I hope you follow along and subscribe to this channel. Bye!